Hey, it's Sarah with Loaves and Dishes, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a Copycat Starbucks cream cheese Danish. Now, I don't know if you've had one of these from Starbucks before or not, but they are absolutely delicious, and they're expensive. It's like $5 for one of those, and you can make them at home. You can make 6 for about $5 worth of ingredients. Also, in the background, my washer is going, the cat is playing with a toy. I can't do anything about it, I'm sorry. So in a bowl, I've got some softened cream cheese. I added about a 1/4 cup of sugar, and I added about a teaspoon of vanilla, and I'm just mixing this up really well. You could add more sugar if you want it to be sweeter. I like a little heavier cream cheese taste, so I only did a 1/4 cup of sugar, but you could add up to probably a 1/2 cup, and it would probably still taste great, honestly. So if you want it a little sweeter, you can do that. Now, I have a puff pastry here. It is thawed, mostly. You want it to be thawed completely because we are going to need to roll it out just a little bit. And it works best if it's thawed. And if your puff pastry is frozen, it is pretty easy to rip them, and you don't want that. So I'm just giving this a little press with my rolling pin, just to thin it out just a little bit and make it slightly larger. You don't want to do too much, just a little bit. And now I am cutting this into 6 rectangles. You want to try to do this as evenly as possible. I didn't do the best job. You want it to be as even as possible so that they cook pretty evenly, but they are only in the oven for about 10 minutes, so it's not super important. But for aesthetic reasons, you want it to be pretty even. So I'm just separating these a little bit. And now I'm just cutting those long strips in half to make 6 rectangles. That's about how many you can get out of a sheet of puff pastry. If you wanted to make them smaller, I am sure that you could. Okay, so now this part isn't strictly necessary. It's more of just a guideline. I'm making a smaller rectangle with my knife inside the puff pastry rectangle. I'm just scoring the top. I'm not cutting all the way through. This is just a guideline so that I know where to poke holes with my fork, and so that it kind of helps the outsides of the puff pastry puff up and not so much the center where you're going to put the cream cheese mixture. Now I'm taking a fork, and just within that rectangle that I scored on the top, I'm just making some vent holes with my fork. This is another thing that will help keep the center of the puff pastry from puffing up and make sure that only the outsides are puffing up. It makes like a little bed for the cream cheese to go on when it's cooked. So now I'm adding some egg wash, and I just add egg wash to the whole thing. I felt like that was easier than trying to just paint around the outside where the cream cheese is going to go. It does make putting the cream cheese on the puff pastry a little bit more difficult, so you kind of have to like pick your battles. So I just spooned some of the cream cheese mixture onto So I'm just spooning this cream cheese mixture on here, and you can do as much or as little. If you want more of the cream cheese mixture on your puff pastries, you can just double the batch and have a ton of cream cheese to put on top. The puff pastry might not cook as well if you have more cream cheese, but I'm sure it would taste good. And I made another version of this that is a pumpkin spice version, and I will show that to you all in another video. It was really good per my husband, who loves pumpkin spice. So, and he suggested that I show you how to make those as well. So I will do that. And there you can see some of them. I made a pumpkin spice mixture to go on top. And then I add some extra things to those when they're done. So I baked it at 425 for about 10 minutes. Every oven is a little bit different, so you want to monitor, but there they are. These were delicious. They were so good. If you want to see more recipes, be sure to check out Loaves and Dishes, and thanks for watching.